Good evening. I'm Aditi Lamba with the Monday night edition of South Asian News, Vision of Asia. We are coming to you from our studio in New Jersey. Welcome to the show. Hope you all had a great weekend. Let's begin the episode now, taking a look at the coronavirus pandemic updates as well as measures. The world is at more than 270 million COVID-19 cases and more than 5 million deaths. Today, British Prime Minister reported the first known death related to the concerning new Omicron variant and said that he is afraid that 2 doses of vaccine are simply not enough to give the level of protection we all need, and announced that a new timeline for a new booster rollout plan will come. Here in the United States, we have surpassed 50 million COVID-19 cases and at least 796,000 deaths. So far, most people who have been infected in the nation with the Omicron variant have shown mild symptoms, but most had been vaccinated. Meanwhile, at least 100 people are dead following the weekend's tornado outbreak across 8 states, especially in hard-hit Kentucky. President Biden today said he will visit the state to survey damage from the deadly tornadoes and said he would soon approve a request for emergency assistance from Illinois. The president has vowed that the federal government would provide whatever they need when they need it. With that, let's now take a look at the headlines for tonight, covering much on coronavirus and South Asian cultural heritage and more. So here are the headlines for tonight. New York governor orders mask indoors for businesses, Dr. Rachna Kulkarni, New Jersey. Jilmil Art Matters and India Foundation of Metropolitan Princeton host Kavi Sammelan, New Jersey. Manhattan Borough President's Office, Arts for All, and the United Nations celebrate Human Rights Day and award ceremony in New York City. It's time for a short break. Stay with us on Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community. We'll be right back. On coronavirus updates and measures, New York's Governor Kathy Hochul has announced a mask mandate which will require masks to be worn in all indoor public places in New York unless a business implements a vaccine requirement. This measure has gone into effect in order to curb the spread of the virus during the holidays when more time is spent indoor shopping and gathering. In fact, nation's leading health expert Dr. Anthony Fauci has said that he also strongly urges people to wear masks whenever they are indoors when other people's vaccination status is unknown. While 80% of New Yorkers are fully vaccinated, the state has been seeing a recent surge in the spread of the virus, especially with the new concerning Omicron variant of the coronavirus. Focus still across the nation remains on getting more Americans vaccinated with the first dose or with the booster, and experts are pleading all to get the COVID-19 vaccine and help come over this deadly pandemic. So again, as stated on our show before, you can visit vaccines.gov for all information on the COVID-19 vaccine and locations to get appointments. On this and much more, we spoke with Dr. Rachna Kulkarni. Here is Dr. Kulkarni. So from a cardiology perspective, how are you looking at people that have heart issues? And there's a lot of members of our community, doctor, that actually fall under that category. How many patients are you seeing with that? And the patients that you have, how concerned are you about them?
Very concerned. You raise a very good point that people with heart disease are at high risk for COVID-19. And the reason is that heart disease comes because of multiple risk factors, which are very prevalent in our community, such as diabetes, high blood pressure, truncal obesity, hyperlipidemia. All of these are extremely prevalent in South Asian communities. And as a result of that, heart disease is also very prevalent in South Asian communities. When we have that, that becomes kind of a perfect storm for COVID-19 infections. So getting yourself vaccinated and especially getting yourself boosted is very important.
Right.
And,
Go ahead.
and you raised a very good point about holiday gatherings. So if I can take a moment to talk about what to do. With holiday gatherings coming, we all are going to get together with our families. And I would like to take a 3-step approach. Get the booster before you decide to attend a holiday gathering, because give yourself that extra margin of safety. We are noticing that the immunities are going down. So getting boosted is the only way you can consider yourself fully vaccinated before attending the meeting. On the morning of the meeting, you should take and pass the rapid antigen test. You don't have to go to a facility. There are now rapid antigen tests which are available at Walgreens or CVS. Get them and pass them, because you're going to meet your loved ones and you want to protect not just yourself, but them as well. And third thing is, if you're not feeling up to it and if you're feeling sick, don't shy away from saying, I'm not feeling well, I can't attend. If you take these 3 steps, then you should be able to attend and enjoy the family gatherings.
And those steps are, again, very important. And vaccines.gov is the website that everyone can go and find more information on the COVID-19 vaccine. We were talking about heart and the cardiology perspective here. I have to ask you on that. Another big question that's concerning parents nationwide. We're seeing lack of vaccinations amongst children because of that. This fear of this heart inflammation disease that is being seen as a reaction to the COVID-19 vaccine amongst the younger generation. I need to know from you, how are you looking at this, and how dangerous could this heart inflammation be?
There have been reports of myocarditis after the second dose of the vaccine. It's also more prevalent after the second dose in young males. So I understand the reason for concern, but let's not forget that if kids or young adults don't get vaccinated, and if they do get COVID also have long-term ramifications of cardiac issues. It could be myocarditis, it could be inflammation of the heart muscle or the sac that holds the heart. We also know that other than cardiac, there will be other side effects or long-term effects of COVID, including neuropathy, fatigue, heart blocks, all of that. So when you take all of that into consideration, the benefits of COVID-19 vaccine outweighs the risk of myocarditis, as the prevalence of that is very, very small.
Yeah. And is it easily treatable, doctor?
It is. And the most of the time, the treatment is symptomatic. And the good news is that most people recover from myocarditis without any residual effects. We cannot say the same thing about COVID-19 long-term effects. So I still think it's an American Association of Pediatrics also recommends COVID-19 vaccine because the benefits outweigh the risks.
Yes. So do you think they would be eventually pushing boosters for even young children ages 5 to 11, because they are getting a smaller dose of the vaccine to begin with, doctor? So how would that be evaluated?
If I have to project and speculate, when I'm seeing the trends, I would say that the boosters for younger kids also should be coming soon. And we have seen that in a lot of other infectious disease cases. Most vaccines that the kids take do have boosters. So I would think this vaccine also will follow the same trajectory.
Did you know that the first Grand Kavi Sammelan was organized in the year 1920, and after that has become a part of the Indian culture and tradition? A Kavi Sammelan features a gathering of poets who recite their poetry in Hindi and produces a platform to discuss Indian literature and literary issues. The event truly empowers the voice of our community and highlights thought-provoking and engaging Indian poets. On that recently, Jilmil Arts Matters collaborated with the India Foundation of Metropolitan Princeton and brought together a Kavi Sammelan titled Ek Sham Geet Aur Ghazal Ke Naam. The Kavi Sammelan features celebrated poet and writer Mr. Alok Srivastava from India along with Hindu-Urdu poets from the tri-state area. Here are some highlights.
सीने पे रख के सोती है जिसको वो रात भर अपनी उसी किताब में रखे हुए हैं। सीने पे रख के सोती है जिसको वो रात भर, कसम खुदा की ऐसे और भी हैं इसमें, आप सुनिए तो। सीने पे रख के सोती है जिसको वो रात भर अपनी उसी किताब में रखे हुए हैं हम। खामोश है वो इसलिए दिल के सवाल पर, खामोश हैं वो इसलिए दिल के सवाल पर, मालूम है जवाब में रखे हुए हैं। बेइंतहा खुशी होती है जब हिंदुस्तान से हज़ारों मील दूर हम हिंदुस्तान की तहज़ीब व अदब को ज़िंदा होते और ताबिंदा होते देखते हैं, चमकते देखते हैं। लगता ही नहीं है कि हिंदुस्तान से हज़ार मील दूर हैं, ऐसा लगता है कि हिंदुस्तान के ही किसी शहर में हैं। और यकीनी तौर से आज की ये जो खूबसूरत शाम रही, इसका पूरा क्रेडिट इसका वो झिलमिल जो एक इदारा है, साहित्यिक जो संस्था है, उसको जाता है, अनूप भार्गव जी को जाता है। मेरे लिए ज़ाती तौर पर ये खुशी का मौका है कि मेरे दोस्त अहबाब जो न्यू जर्सी में हैं वो सब शरीक हुए। ख्वाजा साहब इस प्रोग्राम में आए और तमाम दोस्त जो न्यू जर्सी में रहते हैं, उन्होंने इस मुशायरे में शिरकत की और इसे कामयाब बनाया। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
नमस्कार, मैं अनूप भार्गव। आज हमने झिलमिल अमेरिका की तरफ से हिंदी और उर्दू कविता को एक मंच पर लाने का प्रयास किया। इसे हमने नाम दिया था साझा साइबान, यानी कि ओपन स्काई। और इस साझे आसमान के नीचे हमने आज हिंदी कविता को सुना, उर्दू की गज़ल को सुना। आलोक श्रीवास्तव भारत के, मैं कहूँगा अपनी पीढ़ी के सबसे ज़रूरी और बेहतर कवियों में से एक हैं। और आज हमारी खुशकिस्मती थी कि वो हमारे बीच में आए और बहुत ही सबको आनंद आया। हिंदी और उर्दू कविता को उन्होंने सुना। और मैं दो पंक्तियों के साथ अपनी बात को ख़त्म करना चाहूँगा। मैंने कहा कि आओ आज मिलकर प्यार की एक रुबाई लिखें, आओ आज मिलजुल कर प्यार की एक रुबाई लिखें, हिंदी में गालिब सी गज़ल और उर्दू में तुलसी की चौपाई लिखें। तो आज हमने यही किया, हिंदी और उर्दू कविता को एक मंच पर लाने का प्रयास। हिंदी और उर्दू दोनों अलग अलग ज़बान हैं ही नहीं, मैं मानता हूँ। और आज हमने ये सिद्ध किया। उर्दू के श्रोताओं ने हिंदी की कविता को पसंद किया, हिंदी के श्रोताओं ने उर्दू गज़ल को सराहा। धन्यवाद। एक बात मैं और कहना चाहूँगा कि आज का कार्यक्रम केवल हमारे प्रयासों से संभव नहीं था, हमें हर तरफ से सहयोग मिला, जिसमें ITV गोल्ड, पारिक वर्ल्ड वाइड मीडिया, विशेष रूप से इलियास भाई का और डॉक्टर सुधीर पारिक का मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ, जिन्होंने इस कार्यक्रम में पूरी सहायता दी और इसे सफल बनाने में सहयोग दिया। साथ में क्राउन ऑफ इंडिया रेस्टोरेंट को भी मैं मेंशन करना चाहूँगा, उनका भी हमें पूरा सहयोग मिला।
Hi, this is Sandeep and I just want to say that आज का जो प्रोग्राम था, it's been an absolutely fantastic program. दो ज़बानों को एक छत के नीचे लाना और दो ज़बानों के शायर, दो ज़बानों के श्रोता एक साथ मिलकर एक साझा साहिबान शेयर्ड स्काई के अंडर we created a very mutual harmony, and thanks to Anup ji, thanks to Jill Mill, thanks to IFMP and आलोक श्रीवास्तव जी ने जो आकर जो हमारे मेहमान थे आज के, उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा समा बांध दिया एंड सबको जाते जाते जज्बाती कर दिया. So this is fantastic show. Thank you so much.
This month celebrates Human Rights Day annually, an initiative of the United Nations. On December 10, 1948, the United Nations General Assembly adopted proclamation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, stating that everyone is entitled to being a human being and treated as one. The United Nations every year on this occasion celebrates human beings born free and equal in dignity and rights. This year, World Health Human Rights Day has a theme of equality above all and includes addressing and finding solutions for deep-rooted forms of discrimination. On that, recently in New York City, the Manhattan Borough President's Office hosted a Human Rights Day celebration and award ceremony. With the theme of Inspire Good, the event celebrated the advancement of human rights as well as the achievements of distinguished leaders, educators, health professionals, and more who are committed to building a better future for humanity and improving the quality of life for all. The event was co-hosted by Arts for All Foundation and the United Nations. One of the honorees of the award ceremony also included ITV Gold's chairman, Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parekh. Here is the story.
Hello everyone. I want to welcome everyone to the International Human Rights and Peace Day. Today we celebrated it with some very special honorees doing amazing work in their respective fields for the human good. The theme of today's conference was Inspire Good. And as you will see in today's program, each person here has dedicated their life to helping society globally, in their own community, in their own society. So we're very happy to have such distinguished guests, and we're very happy we can share this day with you. This program is brought to you by Arts for All Foundation. Arts for All is a nonprofit foundation that works on issues of social justice, issues of social reform, and issues of quality life. We work to make life a more beautiful place and humanity a better place for everyone to enjoy in this global world in peace. So we're very happy you're here to join us, and we look for all our honorees to say and share their amazing work with you. And we're very thankful to the Manhattan Borough President, Gail Brewer, who joined us and collaborated with us in this beautiful event. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy the show.
President, thank you for inviting us here in your office, and really we appreciate your help and you are inspiring us. So please say a few words for our viewer.
Well, thank you very much. I'm a big fan of the Samgupta family in particular, and as I indicated, I've been friends with them for a long time. So to have Samita here today and to talk about peace and to talk about world peace and to talk about with all the different honorees, and to say that, you know, it's a troubling world with the virus here around the world is very different than what we've experienced in the past. So that's why we have to come together and figure out how we can work together. And she's really good at it. And I'm glad that this diverse individuals who've joined us today in the Manhattan Borough President's Office. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I just want to say how honored I am to be a part of this event today. These amazing honorees who are just fighting for humanity on every level and every part of society, doing great work. My mother used to always say to me, there's a question we should ask ourselves: who are we when nobody's watching? And these are people who are amazing when nobody's watching. They are the unsung heroes. They are the people who keep our communities together and healthy and just bring justice to every part of their work. So I'm grateful to be here, and congratulations to all the honorees.
My co-awardee friends, and all distinguished guests. First, I would like to thank you, Borough President, for inviting us here, giving the platform to talk about what we did and what we would like to do in future, and for Dr. Sengupta by arranging such a great, distinguished roundtable conference. As Dr. Sengupta said, that I'm a medical doctor, asthma allergy specialist, but also a multifaceted person. Incidentally, Eleanor Roosevelt was patient of our practice. And so we feel very proud and privileged that someone in stature of Eleanor Roosevelt was one of our patients. I look young, but I'm not young. I'm in practice for 50 years now. Well, every human being has a right, as Miss Eleanor Roosevelt says, but I would go one step further, that every human being has birthright to be human being and should be treated as a human being, whether he's a Caucasian, non-Caucasian, whatever color of the skin, or where they're coming from, whether they're coming from India, Africa, or Caribbean, or anywhere else, they all should be treated equally. I'm a medical doctor by profession, but as a community service, 12 years ago, I acquired a largest publishing house in our community, Indian American community here in USA. I publish 4 newspapers weekly in different languages, 3 in English, 1 in one regional language, which is called Gujarati. And I also acquired oldest 24/7 TV channel called ITV Gold. And the whole idea behind this thing is a pure community service and be a champion of initiative like human rights. And that was the whole my idea behind having this, because a lot of people are asking me, being a doctor, what you're doing with the media, So that's my reason. And I assure you that we'll promote that human rights, whatever way and form, and that is a platform for all of you. So any one of you wants to promote human rights, my newspaper and my TV channel is your platform. You are the boss. Just order, we'll do it.
I'm Dr. Yael Danieli. I built the first program to help Nazi Holocaust survivors and their children in the world. I then studied all other massive traumata in the world, and I'm still studying the multi-generational legacies of trauma. Our center is the International Center for Multi-Generational Legacies of Trauma, and we are working across the world, both to teach, to study, and to be of comfort. I also had the fortune of participating in creating all victims' rights in international law.
With this, we wrap up our show for the night. Again, please send us your suggestions and get your voices and organizations on our show. You can email us on events@itvgold.com or follow us on our Facebook handle @itvgold. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for free access to many of our popular shows. Thank you for joining us tonight from Edison, New Jersey. This is Vision of Asia, and I am Niti Lamba. Take care and be well.